Hi folks, it's Evo here from Thundermist Lure Company, and welcome to today's episode of Thundermist Fishing Tips. Today folks, I'm going to be doing what I love to do, and that is jig for walleye. I'm going to run the Flexi Jig today folks, and on the Flexi Jig I'm going to open up with the Blue Skoolie Paddle bait. It's the blue, but it also has gold fleck in it. So the Flexi Jig I'm running folks is 3/4 ounce. I'm fishing the Niagara River, and I'm running 20-pound Thunder braid on my line, but I only have a 10-pound fluorocarbon leader. So I mean, you don't need 20-pound main line, but I've got 20-pound on this reel, and it's not going to hurt me any because first of all the Thunder braid is so thin, but secondly I've got the fluorocarbon leader there. So the main line in that essence doesn't really matter, but the 20-pound will give me some strength for hook setting as well. But keep in mind, you're only as strong as your weakest link. So if 10-pound is my leader, 10-pound is my absolute strength. All right, so all I'm going to do folks is work these jigs on the bottom, let that paddle tail kind of thump down there on the bottom, and see if it can trigger a hit. So stay tuned folks. Okay, well that didn't take long. Oh my goodness, he nailed it folks. Gave me a nice bite just on the drop. He hit it right on the fall. Now with these swim baits, they're called swim baits because it's a paddle tail, but you could swim it. Now I plan on jigging it right now, but you could also swim it. Either or, both techniques work really well. But I like to right now, I'm just bouncing it on the bottom and doing that technique instead. I think I've got myself a nice walleye folks. In fact I do. And I see the cameraman's got a line out too. So I'm just going to hopefully net this fish. Oh, that's a nice walleye folks. And in the bag. There we go. Folks, check that out. That is a beautiful walleye right there. A mouthful of Flexi Jig and Skoolie swim bait. That folks is a beautiful eater, but we're gonna release today. Okay, I do need a picture for Facebook and Instagram though, so a quick photo and then we'll get him released. Talk about a beautiful fish folks, and that Flexi Jig hook set, I just love it. I love it. Beautiful walleye folks right there. That is a dandy fish. Okay, he gets released. Sometimes folks we catch and keep, sometimes folks we catch and release. When it comes to walleye, we usually catch and keep because they're such good eating fish, but that's okay. Today we're going to release folks and enjoy the catch and release fishery right on the fall folks. As it was falling, I just saw my line twitch, just twitch, and I felt just a little tick. That's all it was. And then as soon as I felt that, I just set the hook right away, and here we have another walleye folks. I'm sure of it. It's fighting like a walleye anyway. So it looks like this combination of the black Flexi Jig with that blue Skoolie bait with that little bit of gold fleck is doing it today folks. Oh, that's a beautiful walleye. Oh yes folks, are you kidding? Dandy walleye. Oh yeah, oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about right there folks. Walleye fishing at its best. Oh yes, let out a little bit of line. Look at that fish folks. Nice walleye right there. All right, let's get that hook out. It's just in the top lip, and he's got a mouthful of net. There we go. See that hook set? Right in the top lip. He picked it up, and boom, I nailed him. Let's see if I can get it out. There we go. Look at that, folks. Isn't that a beautiful walleye? Hey, about the same size as the other one, maybe a tad bigger, maybe, but basically about the same size. But what a dandy fish that is. All right, like I said, we're releasing today. Back in he goes. Okay, talk about exciting, folks. Exciting. Okay, now what I do want to mention with these schoolie baits, or any swim bait for that matter, let out a little more line. I'm fishing in about 16 to 18 feet of water. But what I want to mention is today, yes, I'm jigging, I'm bouncing that schoolie bait on the bottom in the strike zone. But it is a paddle tail and it is called a swim bait, so you could swim them. If you're going to swim them, if you prefer to swim as opposed to jig, then quite simply, let your jig get down to the bottom all the way and then start a slow retrieve. Oh, I thought I had a hit there. Start a slow retrieve on the bottom and continue with the slow retrieve. And the reason for the slow retrieve on the bottom is because that's where the fish are holding. You want to stay in the strike zone. And you keep your rod tip pointing down. So if you keep your rod tip pointing down and you reel in very slow, you could work that swim bait and stay in the strike zone. So whether you prefer to swim those paddle tail style baits or you prefer to jig them, both very, very effective methods. Right now I'm jigging, I'm sticking with it because it's working. You know what, folks, wherever you're tuning in from, I hope that you give walleye fishing a try. And as I always say, if you haven't been out on the water lately, by all means, get out there, get a line wet. Enjoy the weather, enjoy the scenery, enjoy the fishing, pack a lunch, and just have yourself a good day. Whether you go by yourself or with friends, either way you can't go wrong. I want to thank you for joining me on today's episode of Thundermist Fishing Tips. And as always, folks, until next time, good luck and good fishing.